היי דני,
אהלן, מה שלומך?
בסדר. אני רואה
למה
שלא
אני לא
שומעים
שומע
אותי
אותך
טוב.
טוב? בואי נראה אוקיי, אוקיי, אני קודם כל אעשה אותך co-host.
אוקיי.
אני הולך ל-participants, ואני אעשה אותך make co-host. עכשיו, את רוצה שאנחנו נעשה את העניין הזה של חדר המתנה, ואת תהיי זאת שמכניסה את כולם?
אני חושבת שכן, אפשר לעשות פה enable waiting room בסקיוריטי.
כן, אז תעשי את זה את?
אז כן, וגם אני רוצה לעשות את מה שדיוויד יצא לך לראות.
כן, ראיתי.
אז
עכשיו,
אני לא
אז בסדר, תעשי בינתיים את ה-waiting room, אני בינתיים אעבור על הדברים של דיוויד.
אוקיי.
אז אני מוחק את all participants cannot share screen,
כן.
אבל זה אומר שאנחנו נצטרך לפתור אם לרמי ולאריאל יש משהו, אז אנחנו צריכים לעשות אותם גם co-host, בסדר, אז נעשה את כולנו co-host.
כן, אני מאמינה שלאריאל אין... רגע, אני שולחת לאיילת.
אבל אני לא רואה שאני יכול לשנות את זה. כן, אני יכול, בסדר. unmute themselves כן, start video אני מוחק להם. share whiteboards זה לא יכולים, share notes גם לא יכולים, collaborate with Zoom apps גם לא, set meeting timers גם לא. אז הם יכולים to chat ו-to unmute themselves.
כן.
אוקיי.
עכשיו בצ'אט אתה רוצה שהם יוכלו עם כולם או רק...
נכון. איך עושים את זה, את יודעת?
כן, ממש הולכים לצ'אט ואז בצבי דוט ואז host and co-host, זהו.
בסדר.
רגע, זה host and co-host, אוקיי. בסדר, אז אני... רגע, אז אני צריכה לראות את הפרטיסיפנט.
הנה, איילת נכנסה
הנה, איילת,
ל-waiting room.
הנה, הכנסתי אותה, בסדר.
ואני אעשה אותה ל-co-host.
וילד בפנים גם. היי איילת.
היי איילת. אוקיי, אז הפכתי את איילת ל-co-host, ואני אעשה את זה גם לאריאל היי איילת, מה שלומך?
היי, בסדר, איך אתה? וואו.
בסדר גמור.
אתה צריך שאני אעשה משהו אקטיבי, לכן אתה ממנה אותי, או שסתם כי אתה מחבב אותי?
אני מחבב אותך, ואני גם לא יודע מה יקרה במהלך האירוע.
אוקיי.
אז כשיהיה...
לא, סבבה, אין בעיה. בוא...
יש לך שקופיות שאת רוצה לשתף?
לא, ממש לא, אני רק מדברת בעל פה.
עכשיו תגידי, למה הרקע שלך הוא צבעוני ושלי ושל יוכי לא?
כי אני פחות ממושמעת ממך, ואני השתמשתי בישן, כי הוא פשוט יפה יותר בעיניי. אני מודה שאני פשוט נראית ממש מזעזע על רקע לבן. בהיותי כה כהת אור, זה פשוט
אבל זה יופי, זה תל אביב, לא?
נראה כמו רוח רפאים, כן, ברור שזה תל אביב.
אז תשלחי לנו את זה, אני גם משנה את שלי שיהיה כמו שלך. אני לא יודע מה יוכי רוצה לעשות, אבל אני אשמח.
אז אני אבדוק אם אני יכולה למצוא את זה. אתה מעדיף מייל או וואטסאפ?
וואטסאפ.
דני, שלחתי לך כמה הערות קטנות על המצגת, ראית בוואטסאפ?
כן, שחסר R או משהו בזה.
נכון, R אחד, וגם בתוכנית לימודים, אז תסתכל, הקורס של קולין צריך להיות 2 ולא 3.
אוקיי.
אז זה מסתכל מהם ב-12, ואז בטוטל אלקטיב מבחוץ, זה בשקופית 8 לדעתי, נכון?
אוקיי, אני אגיד לך מה הבעיה, שכרגע זה מופיע אצלי כאן בתור תמונה.
כי זה מהזה.
כן,
אז שלחתי לך, אבל זה קצת פחות שלחתי לך גם תמונה כבר מוכנה, אבל אולי זה לא כל כך מעודכן.
טוב, אני לא בטוח שאני אספיק לתקן את זה. זה 3, 12 ו-12, אוקיי, בסדר, הבנתי.
כן, רגע, אני רוצה, לעולם לא העפתי אף אחד מזה, אז אני צריכה לראות רק אם אני אצטרך. איך אני עושה? אי אפשר להוציא co-host?
אולי אני צריך לעשות את זה.
אתה יכול להוריד רגע את הילד מ-co-host ואני אראה אם זה בגלל זה?
כן, רגע.
אני שולחת לך את זה כעת, דני, רק תגיד לי בבקשה, בואו תגידו לי את סדר האירועים, שאנחנו כולנו נהיה על אותו עמוד.
אני אפתח, אני אגיד שלום לכולם, ואני אעביר את רשות הדיבור אלייך. אני אחרי זה אדבר בערך רבע שעה עם המצגת שלי על התוכנית.
אוקיי.
אחר כך יש לנו בתוך זה נשלב גם את יוכי, שתדבר על תנאי הקבלה. רם יכין כמה 7-8 דקות על הקורסים שלו. יש לנו גם את אריאל, והיא תדבר לקראת הסוף. אני חושב שכל העסק לא צריך לקחת יותר מ 45 דקות, שעה
לא,
מקסימום.
לא, ברור. ויוכי, את יודעת כמה אנשים נרשמו?
12 הייתי.
אוקיי, אז אני כבר אומרת שגם אצל אביגיל בסייבר וגם אצל קורי בסכסוכים הייתה נוכחות מאוד דלה, אז אני מקווה שכמובן יהיה אצלכם יותר, אבל אם פחות אל תתבאסו, אני לא יודעת עדיין אם זה מגמה או לא, אז אנחנו נראה.
אני לא מתכוון להתבאס מכלום.
הילד, מה זה נוכחות דלה?
רגע, חכו רגע, אני עכשיו עובד על המספרים של קולין. אז שנייה אחת.
אנחנו עדיין בהקלטה, חבל. בואו נעצור ונקליט אחר כך עוד פעם.
טוב.
אני אשתיק את עצמי.
I am the head of the MA program in social and policy aspects of climate change. This is our open day. We'll have a few others, but this is the first for this week. I'm happy to be here with some of my colleagues. Ms. Ayelet Fishman will be speaking first. She is the head administrator of the international programs at the social science faculty. And I will introduce some of my other colleagues later. So Ayelet, over to you, please.
Hi, thanks and welcome everybody to our open week. I'm the administrative director of the International Graduate School of Social Sciences, meaning I'm responsible for all international activities in our faculty. We have 5 MA programs, and actually the climate program is the new kid on the block, the new and cool kid on the block, I may say. I'm also responsible for incoming guest professors, collaborations, agreements, conferences, and whatnot. I'll put my website in the link shortly. This program is the climate program is a program we're really proud of, and Danny will explain more later. I would like just to say that Tel Aviv, being the largest research university in Israel, is still, even though we are marking today 6 months to October 7th, is still a really live, vibrant, super safe environment, so you can rest assured on that. We have people from all over the world studying here, and at this specific program, we have a mix of Israeli and international students, which makes it extra nice. Danny, the floor goes back to you, and if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them later. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayelet. As you can see, apart from me and from Ayelet, we also have Yochi Binki, who is the administrator of this particular program, and she will share with me the next presentation of about 12 or 15 minutes about the structure of the program and what it offers. We also have Dr. Rami Kaplan, who is one of the instructors on our program, who will speak a little bit about his courses. And we are also happy to have here Ariel Ern, who is one of our students. So let's get on with it immediately. The main highlights, I guess, of the new program is that it's one of not many around the world that focuses on the social, economic, and political aspects of the climate crisis. There are a number of other programs around the world, MA programs that deal with climate, but not so much from the social and economic aspects of it. And we find that many people in many places are now interested in developing new research tools because a better analysis of these aspects of the crisis is needed. So this is one focus of our program, to develop new research tools. And the second, of course, is to help young professionals who are interested to go into the climate area develop and grow, and then also find themselves interesting opportunities in the job market. It's the first master's program in Israel which is dedicated primarily to climate change. So we are pioneers on that. And as I said, only a handful of similar programs exist globally. And we're also proud that we have a world-class team of professors in a variety of disciplines, including the ones you see here on screen, who are involved in teaching it. We have 2 tracks available for students, a studies track and a research track. Research track is a little bit longer, as you can see. Requires less credit hours for studies, but of course involves writing an original thesis and doing research. The initial admission to the program is to the studies track, and after 1 semester, those who are interested can apply and go to the research track. And you can see that the studies track has a higher number of credit hours, but on the other hand, it's shorter because it can be completed in 3 semesters. The admission requirements, maybe Yochi, if you'd like to go through these, please.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Yochi Binky and I'm the course coordinator. So the admission requirements to the program is a bachelor degree with a GPA of 80 or above. If you've got a degree from life science, exact science, engineering, or medicines, your GPA should be 75 or above. How will evaluate all the transcript and your documents, the documents that you're going to send, so you don't need to do the evaluation. You need to I will send the link to registration. After you register to the program, you need to upload all the documents and we will do all the evaluation. You will need English to take an English exam if you have not studied in English. If you have studied in English, you don't need to do it. Again, that's we'll tell you after we'll get all your documents. You will need to have 1 letter of recommendation, a letter of intent in English. It should be around 1 page long, stating your background, your academic background, professional background, and a little bit about yourself and your interest in the program and in climate change. You will need to send your CV also to upload your CV, copy of a valid passport, and a passport style photo that will go to your student ID card. All the registration to the program is going to go through me. Every question that you have, you need to know, you can send me an email and I will answer. I will send now in the chat the link for the registration, a link to my email and link to the program website. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Yochi. A word about program instructors. You have two of them here, myself and Dr. Rami Kaplan, whose courses on climate change and capitalism will be reviewed shortly in a few minutes. We have Dr. Dov Chenin, Dr. Miri Levi-Ne'eman, Professor Colin Price. You can see by the names of the courses that they teach their various expertise. These are the instructors that give courses offered by our program uniquely. Of course, there are opportunities, and we will go through them in a minute, to take many other courses from other parts of the university, from obviously other instructors. And as I say, we're very proud that many of our instructors have rich research experience, but also some of them are individuals with unique experience in terms of climate policy and activism. And I give just two examples here. Former member of Knesset, Dr. Dov Chenin, is now chair of Israel's Climate Forum, which was established by the President of Israel a few years ago. And during his time in the Knesset in the past, he was chair of Interior and Environment Committee, and was also the main driving force behind some of Israel's most important environmental legislation. This is Dov Chenin, a former member of Knesset, Professor Alon Tal at Tel-Aviv University. He also was a member of Knesset, has a long track record in the history of the Israeli environmental scene, and also did very important legislation work, including climate work in the Knesset. So these are examples. They are not the only examples, but of the unique experience, the hands-on experience that some of our instructors have in the field of climate. Let me just see if I can move forward here. Something about the courses, the work plan, and the schedule. So we designed this program for 3 semesters: a fall semester, the spring semester, and the summer semester, which is a shorter one. The program's teaching days are Mondays and Thursdays. That means that all the courses that we offer on the program happen on either Monday and Thursday. So, of course, other elective courses, not many of them that people take, may happen on other days. But even within Mondays and Thursdays, there are gaps in the program that we are offering that can allow elective courses from other parts of the university as well. This is an attempt to show you, we don't have to go into all the details here, but it sort of gives you an overall view of the main elements of our program. So you can see that there are mandatory courses, 4 of them, which everyone has to take, and they come up to 12 credit points, whether you're taking the studies course or the research track. And then we have electives. So the program itself offers 4 or 5 elective courses, and from them, students select to reach the number that they need. We also have seminars, as you see there, and external electives, which are elective courses that people can take from other parts of the university. Then there is a final assignment, which is a shorter one for the studies track, and a thesis in the research track. So that's a general view. One of the courses that we like to draw your attention to is the practicum. It's 3rd from the top. And it's a year-long seminar run by Dr. Dov Chenin that looks at climate as a civil challenge, and is really based on each of the students being an intern in an organization whose work is related in this way or the other to climate. It can be a local government organization, an NGO, a business organization, industry, and this is the list of the organizations that are participating in this program and are hosting our students as interns in this current academic year. It will probably be a similar list, maybe a little bit expanded for following years. This is a slide that shows how a suggested work plan might look for somebody who wanted to take the studies track and do the whole thing in 12 months, in 3 semesters. So again, without going into the details of the courses, this slide is organized by semesters. You can see that semester 1, based on the courses, mainly on the courses that we offer at the program, can end with a student with 15 credit points if they're in the study track, and then this goes on to the second semester and to the summer semester, bringing people quite easily to the required 36 if they are in the studies track, or 29 in the research track by the end of the summer. This is what a year might look like. Of course, there are a number of assumptions here about people's preferences and so on, but this is just an illustration of how a year might look. We are also offering, as part of the program, a number of workshops and certificates free of charge for those who want to, including SEG, maybe carbon accounting. So that is something that goes along with the program for those who are interested as additional training. Language requirements, just to be a little bit more precise. So, and people with an undergraduate degree from any Israeli universities are exempted. And if people are coming from abroad, then the distinction is between those who hold an undergraduate degree from a university abroad where medium of instruction is English, in which case no need of any language proficiency test. But if the university abroad does not teach in English, then these are the options, the TOEFL or the Cambridge B2. So this is something that you need to take into account. And as you can see here, Yochi is available for answering questions on that as well. Some links, and I think I'll ask my colleague Rami Kaplan to take over from here. Rami teaches a seminar actually, on climate and capitalism. Rami, the floor is yours.
Rami, we can't hear you, you're mute.
I think we
Yeah,
need...
okay, sorry. Yeah, okay, I'll start again. So my name is Rami Kaplan. I am teaching in the Sociology and Anthropology and Labor Studies departments in Tel-Aviv University, and also in this program, climate program. I am studying indeed climate change in its relationship to capitalism, and this is what my seminar in the program is about. It is called Climate Change and Capitalism, and it deals with the intimate connection between capitalism and climate change. So, for example, or you can see it through the purpose of the seminar, which is to extend your understanding of the nexus, which is the connection between capitalism and climate change, mainly how global capitalism is a major factor of climate change. So how climate change is rooted in capitalism, and second, about how economic interests are an obstacle, or rather a driver, of climate change governance, or the transition to to a cleaner economy, which is now something that all the big organizations in the world are trying to align with. And the main theme that we study in this seminar are climate politics, global markets, corporations. We talk a lot about large corporations, the largest in the world, and various instruments of climate governance. Climate governance is usually policies or mechanisms that try to either mitigate climate change, so to decrease it, or decrease the emissions, the carbon emissions that cause climate change, and also to adaptation, what is called climate adaptation, which is to adapt the populations to a warming world. So in that, we look at a variety of issues. So for example, I point here, we learn about globalization, the global markets, how the economy has become globalized, indeed dominated by transnational corporations, how economic activity is now spread across borders, across national borders, and how this relates to the question of emissions, of carbon emissions or global or greenhouse gases emissions, which cause globally the problem of climate change. So in that, we look at the climate politics. So for example, these world summits, which occur once a year, in which the entire world or representative meet. Last time it was in Dubai, in order to try to facilitate collective action, mobilization against climate change. Also politics that occurs outside of government corridors. So for example, social movements and and public protest against climate change. Agreements such as the important Paris Agreement, what exactly does it say, and how is it supposed to set goals and create mechanisms by which to mitigate climate change. So I spoke about climate governance mechanisms. One of them is carbon markets, in which emission permits are traded. So this is a whole issue that we learn about, or carbon taxes, which put a price on carbon emissions, thereby trying to regulate the emissions. Also, what corporations like Shell and all the others try to do in the realm of sustainability and climate, which is to adopt practices, voluntary practices of corporate environmentalism, in which corporations try to green themselves. And also another main topic is that of greenwashing, in which corporations and other organizations try to decouple between symbolic compliance with norms and expectations about their emissions and what they actually do. So this is a lot about posing and symbolically doing something while actual business remains as usual. So of course, this is a major issue in all this nexus of capitalism and climate. Just another small taste of what we see in the seminar and talk about is what you see here is one graph that captures a lot of the picture, which is what you see here is global growth from 1960 to 2020. Okay, so in the last 60 years, you see the dramatic growth of production in the world. So the world capitalism is becoming more and more efficient producer. And at the same time, with almost perfect correlation, you see the increase of global CO2 emissions. So those gases that create the effect of global warming, you see that there is almost perfect correlation between the two, which implies that in order to actually mitigate the problem, you need to do either of the two things, either to decrease the growth, the economic growth, or decrease economic activity. This is called degrowth, or rather continue with the economic growth, as you see here, but at the same time decouple the emissions from the growth. So implying that we continue to grow, we continue to do more and more economically, but at the same time, we pollute less or emit less. A recipe, a blueprint that is called green growth or decoupling. And of course, the entire world today is mobilizing in this direction, especially through the energy transition, the transition to renewable energies, which is supposed very quickly by 2050 to get the world to a point in which emissions reach net zero, implying that there zero addition of emissions to the atmosphere. This is a very, very ambitious, almost impossible target, and we are going to look at how the world is organizing in that direction. One of the major social transformation today in the world and in the forthcoming decades. And just to end, so how does it go? Because this is a seminary, it's not a frontal lecture, a frontal course. So in this seminary, the obligation of the students are very active. This is to participate in the classes, but more than that, to lead the one discussion of various materials and topics. So this most of this class is taking place in the form of discussion among the students and myself. And also giving a presentation of your project and writing a seminary research paper on some topic which is related to climate and capitalism. Yeah, so this is so much for my part. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rami. Just to put Rami's presentation in perspective before we move on to hear from Ariel, I want to go quickly to this slide, which shows you the slide here, which shows you that Rami's course that is just described was actually given this year as a seminar. Next year, Rami is going to be on sabbatical leave, and we are going to have a different seminar in that space by Dr. Miri Lavi-Ne'eman on political ecology and climate. I myself give another seminar in this rubric called Climate, Israel and the Middle East. More generally, I could say that some of our courses are more philosophical and theoretical in approach, such as political ecology and the climate by Dr. Miri Lavi-Ne'eman, and also the climate change and social sciences course that I give in this first semester. And others are more sort of hands-on, like the one Rami's just described, like Professor Colin Price's Introduction to the Climate Crisis from a Scientific Point of View, and also Professor Alon Tal's course on climate policy, which is very much a hands-on. And so is Dr. David Levy's Business and the Political Economy of Climate Change. So a mixture of hands-on, real-world kind of approach to climate change and how we can better understand it and go about it, and some more theoretical, philosophical approaches in some other courses. Let us hear from Ariel. Ariel, who is one of our students this year. Ariel, are you with us? And do you want to share the screen, or you will just speak?
I didn't prepare anything, but so I can just say a few words that yeah, I'm a current student in this program, so feel free to ask me any questions if anybody has them. I think it's been a really interesting and great couple semesters despite everything else. I think the program cohort itself has just been really inspiring and interesting. And it's a very unique opportunity to look at climate change from a variety of different perspectives. And I'm also in the research track, so if anyone has questions about that, I can speak to that as well. yeah, I don't have, I guess one of the highlights is also that I think you feel like it's a very personalized program. Like professors are super available, willing to meet with you and talk through ideas. And I think that's very like maybe more usual in a master's, but also feels particularly special to this program. Yeah.
I have a question for you. What's your favorite course in the program?
Well, I can't say with two different professors here. No, I think my favorite was probably first semester we took political ecology. So that was something that I'm particularly interested with Miri Lavi-Niemann. And I thought that was a really, special course.
Thank you. I just want to add a remark about the elective courses. Like Professor Rabinovich mentioned, the program invited a guest professor from another university this year, but each year we have about 5 guest professors in the faculty teaching in English from the best universities in the world, and their courses are all electives and they're open to you. Another thing, completely just an administrative point that I'm going to say now in order not to forget it later. I don't know what your financial status is, and frankly, it's none of my business, but we do have several scholarship opportunities, both the program and the Tel-Aviv International School. So I'll put the link to all the programs on the chat so you can explore it a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayelet. Thank you, Ariel. I think we are at the end of what we wanted to present and are available here to answer questions. So I think you can all unmute yourselves, and we will be happy to go through some of the questions or dilemmas that you might have, or clarifications that any of you might want to have, and it can be directed to any of us, to either professors or administrators or students. So I hope we haven't been too intimidating, and that you will be happy to ask us. Yeah, it can also be in the chat if you feel more comfortable about that.
Hi, may I?
It's Daniela, right?
Yes, it is. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. I wanted to ask, this would be my first time going back to studies after many years of professional life. And what I wonder is, it's like a very personal question really, but might also apply to other students. I live not so close to Tel Aviv, so I will have to commute, and I would really like to understand if the 2 days of the week would be the only 2 that I have to be completely, the full day in Tel Aviv, or there are many others throughout the semesters. You said something very quickly before, but just to understand a little more. And on top of that, if there are evening activities that are already planned, or that kind of it's obvious that we have to do, because I have a small child and I need to also organize with that, like many other Israelis of all ages. So it's a very technical question, really.
Thank you, Daniela. This is exactly the kind of questions for which we have these open days, and I can assure you that you're not the only one preoccupied with it. We've seen in this first year that about half of our students are Israelis or live in Israel, and many of them have a similar profile to yours, in the sense of not coming to us immediately after school, but rather some of them are a bit older and have had a professional career which, by the way, is wonderful for the program and for the kind of mix of people. To your question, you can complete the program in 3 semesters and only attend the university on Mondays and Thursdays. This is something that we specifically designed the program for. It means that you would probably need to use the summer semester also, mainly for the courses outside of the program. There are anything between 6 and 10 credit points that you need to collect from outside the program, and obviously courses that you would want to take in other departments are not synchronized with us, so they may not happen on Mondays and Thursday. But Mondays and Thursday by themselves, plus a little bit in the summer semester, is perfectly feasible, and some people have actually done exactly what you are trying to do this past year, and are completing their 36 credit points, even with relatively little work in the summer. Evening activities, excuse me, evening activities, not that we initiate and not that is integral to the program. So normally our studies would end maybe in one of the 2 days, either Monday or Thursday. You would have to go until 6 or so, but the other day will probably be shorter than that. I think Yochi wanted to add something on this point. Yochi, you are muted.
Just wanted to say a few things, please. One, if you're Israeli or Oleh Hadash, I just send a link to the registration for Israeli and Olim Chadashim. One other thing is about building your schedule. Some of the students finish in 2 semesters even. It's up to you how long you're willing how long you want your day to be. I can help a lot with helping you finding courses that can fix your day, that you hear. Most students will finish in 3 semesters in 2 days, no more than that. You do need to take into account the practicum, that once you start the practicum is up to you and the organization that you're gonna work in to work it out with you that is gonna suit you and the organization. But you can say in advance that you've got your limitation, and then we can help you find organizations that can meet your obligations.
If I may, again, sorry, thank you so much for the answers, very clear. In terms of the organizations, are there organizations that are in areas a little southern from Tel Aviv? I live very close to Ashkelon. I'm not in the Otif, but the chain just outside of the Otif. So I'm close to Ashkelon and Kiryat Gat.
We have quite a good geographical spread of these organizations. And also these internships do not necessarily entail you being on the premises of the organization every week. Some of the work can be done remote with intermittent visits. So we're quite flexible on that.
And even more than that, if you find an organization that can meet our requirements, and you know in your area, and you think and you want to do your practicum there, you can send us, and we're very happy to do the connection between you and them. So that's another option for you if you want to do something local.
I see Isabella has raised her hand. Isabella, go ahead. Unmute yourself and yes.
Okay, hello, my name is Isabella. I am from Kenya. And okay, I understand that the scholarship is academic based. Though on a personal level, my undergraduate, I did not reach 75. I actually got 59, second class lower division. Though I have experience of working in the communities in Africa, trying to work with the women and the children in relation to nature. now, okay, should someone like me also apply and try to also use my work experience, since my when it comes to academic, I do not reach the threshold. I did not reach 75.
Thank you for your question, Isabella. This is a tough one for us because the requirement for admission is a university-wide thing. So we have little discretion in the way that we deal with people who do not meet the standards. We do have a small allocation. It's actually by percentage of all admissions that we can use this discretion. The thing about that is that you would probably be competing with people who are much nearer the threshold than the figure that you've given us. So I can say two things. One is that it will probably be at the very last moment that we decide on such admissions, and second, that going into this process, the chances are not very high. They're not very high, and also because there is a lot of demand for the program, and we get people who are well above the threshold the whole time. So I want to be realistic about it. I'm not closing the door completely, but this is the sort of the course as it goes forward. Ayelet, Yochi, if you want to add something on this.
I think I'm done pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there also like specific question about that. You can just send me an email and I can check thing, and if you've got a specific question about your GP, your everything, you can just send me an email and I'll try to help as much as I can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We are open for more questions, either by chat or by speech, if there's anyone who wants to raise something. We're almost at the end of the time that we allocated for this session. We normally like doing these sessions for 45 minutes. So we're almost at the end of that time.
Maybe I just add, Danny, that I just want to say, if you are interested, this is the time to start the process, because it takes a little bit of time, the evaluation of the certificate. This is the time to start. We have very high demand. We finished the first year, so now the rumor is out, and we've got a lot of people that register. So don't wait to the last minute, because it's just going to be too late. It's a long process, especially not long, but it takes longer if we need to do the evaluation for your certificate. And you need recommendation letter, which sometimes takes some time to ask from your professor. So you've got my email, and you can ask me anything, and I'll try and answer as fast as I can and help with everything that you need.
Yes, Daniela, you've raised your hand again.
Yes, yes. I just realized, as far as the presentation letter goes, because I am quite remote from my years at university, which, by the way, were at the Pisa University in Italy. It's a very long story. To whom should I ask for a presentation letter? If not to myself, possibly. I don't really.
You're not unique in that. As I
Yeah.
said earlier, there are even in this first year, we've had a number of people who've been out of university for more than a decade. In fact, if anyone who's been out of university for more than 5 years can bring us letter of references also from people who know them professionally. They don't have to be part of their academic training. So anyone who you've crossed paths with and can say something about you in a professional capacity, we accept that. Academic letters of reference are for people who have graduated in the last 5 years.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I remind everybody that you can write to Yochi. Her email address is in the chat about any of the issues that we raised here. And if there's anything you want to bring up with me, Yochi can direct you at my direction also. I'd like to thank Ayelet and Yochi and Ariel and Rami, who has had to move on, for their part on this event. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a good day.
Thank you.